Alright, what's going on, you guys? Sam from ZeroDomainMyBet. In this video, we'll be doing the discussion for the lock of the night and top 2 parlays, part of the Patreon $5 tiers. If you're seeing this from Patreon, thank you very much, guys. You appreciate your support. You guys keep it running. By the way, a quick thank. As I launched this, many people start supporting me, so I appreciate that, guys. I expect that this gonna be more accessible to more people, so more people can show their appreciation, their support for the channel. As obviously I want this to make the best to you guys, and also to try to give you guys the lock of the night and the best place for each card. Alright, so this is part of this discussion. So what I'll be doing here, guys, I'll first I'll talk about the lock of the night. Then I have for this particular one, I'm not going the top 2 parlays, but I have an interesting scenario to discuss with you guys. I'll show you in the end. Okay, so as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, consider supporting the channel. So right off here for UFC 265, this is the fight that we're gonna be discussing more details. I'm not gonna break down too much in terms of the skill sets and whatnot. I'm gonna try to make more like a general approach, why I think in this case Ciryl Gane is the lock of the night. Okay, so let's be doing these things from two perspectives. You know, I'm gonna be doing a video on this, explaining what's in my head, and I call them the lock of the night. But I'll try to give you guys here some details so you guys understand. So the fight is between Ciryl Gane and Derrick that we are discussing. So basically, let's start by analyzing this guy's physical skills. So Gane is a pretty young heavyweight. You know, 31 years old, may not be too young for some of the viewers, you know, but it's very young, especially for a heavyweight, you know, because these guys as heavyweights, they take some time to solidify themselves, you know, because they have so much power and they beat up everybody. So until they start facing heavy competition, which in general comes late in their career, that's when they start developing, they start, you know, respecting more their opponents. In this case, we are talking about a 31-year-old in Ciryl Gane, who is a Muay Thai champion. This guy, despite the young age, let's put it this way, he's solid in terms of his mindset. He knows what he has to bring to win fights. He's aware of his opponents. I like a lot the way this guy behaves, you know, because he has been criticized for his lack of, you know, aggression, let's put it this way, especially in Jairzinho Rozenstruik fight, which is not his last one, which was against Volkov, but the previous one. He was basically outstriking Rozenstruik pretty easily on the outside. You know, he was avoiding the bombs. He fight a perfect fight. You know, people criticized him, saying he's boring and whatnot. He didn't change one bit, you know, to fight a Volkov, at least in terms of his risks. You know, he didn't risk more than he should, and this is excellent, guys. If you're talking about a guy that you want to bet, I'm not talking about like being an MMA fan to see the flashy knockouts, etc. I'm talking about a bet, and it's excellent that this guy has a solid mindset for the game, you know. So he's a tall guy. Actually, I saw some in the UFC they put 6'5", you know, so between 6'4" and 6'5". This guy is tall. This guy is rangy. He's in a good camp, you know, and this guy is trying to make a name for himself. So, and he's in a run, right? He didn't lose yet. So all combining factors, especially because of the Muay Thai, and like I told, this guy is super calm and super collected in the cage. He doesn't take unnecessary risks. So he's fighting the Black Beast here, who is a fan favorite. This guy is known by his power. He's you know, being ferocious in the cage in terms of, you know, packing a punch and you know, just putting guys out. So let's analyze him a little bit. He's also not old for a heavyweight. Let's put it, he's a middle age in terms of a heavyweight. He's a big guy, you know, he's on top of the weight class. He's not short. He doesn't have a short reach. So this guy also is quite big and athletic, you know, and he doesn't look as fit as Gane is. You can tell by the picture. So Gane also, by the way, has the cardio here. But this guy is no slouch. He knows his strengths. He knows his detriments. And but why do I think Ciryl Gane is such a lock, guys? It's just because the way Derrick Lewis fights. If I'm gonna tell you guys here, so he has some impressive wins. If you're gonna see, you know, he won against Ngannou, he won against Volkov. So if you haven't watched this fight, you can go out there and watch. Basically, this was a very weird fight. Both guys staring at each other at the mirror, you know, they both did nothing, you know. So he won based on, I don't know what, some like kicks or something, don't quite remember now. Against Volkov, he was being outstruck. He would lose that fight easily. He got a punch because Volkov got tired and got lazy. DC dominated him on the ground. JDS dominated him on the feet just by being more active, being aware of the right hand, and you see JDS knocked him out. You know, then he got quite good wins against Blagoy Ivanov. He was quite busy, you know, trading with Ivanov. Ivanov took some more chances. It was a split decision, so arguably Ivanov could have won that. He actually performed quite well against Latifi. You know, actually the biggest reason is because Latifi tried to out-wrestle him, which he did, but he didn't do much damage, so Derrick Lewis was a little bit busier, you know, as impressive as it sounds, but it is a Ilir Latifi, you know. Against Olenek is a guy that pushes the pace kind of crazy and tried to make a grappling match. And we saw Lewis being a little bit out-grappled, but then he started landing heavier and, you know, Olenek takes his chances. So let's say this is his legit win. From all of this, I would say Ivanov, you know, it was a legit win, even though it was a split decision. And he also won legitimately against Blades, even though he got controlled in the first round. You know, he found that uppercut. So that's the danger on this fight, you know. It's the power, it's the timing that this guy can have, you know. It's the athleticism. But again, guys, why do I think there's so much little chance for Derrick Lewis to win? It's just because Gane, again, this guy, he has the reach here. He's calm, cool, collected. He's tall. He fights tall. He is avoiding all of the big strikes. Go there and watch this fight against Jairzinho Rosenstruck. I think this is the best example. He waits for the right time. He's tough to hit, you know. And I don't see Derrick Lewis landing on him. So that's why to me, it's Ciryl Gane all day. I would say that Gane has a very decent chance to finish Lewis. Most likely it's decision, guys, but there's a good chance. Let's put between decision and TKO win for Gane. I would say like you know, let's put like 50% on decision. Let's say like Gane wins 100% of the time, which is not true, but just as an example to make round numbers. I'd say 50% of the time it's Gane by decision, 40% probably by knockout, and 10% by submission, something like this. So to me it's significant. I don't want to bet Gane by decision because, like I said, I think there's a decent chance to finish this guy. All right, so just try to make this a little bit more analytical. If you guys don't know UFC stats, do visit this page. It's really worth it, you know. So if you guys analyze here, Derrick Lewis, he doesn't get hit a lot, but he also doesn't throw a lot. And if you're gonna compare him to Gane, which is a guy that throws really a lot for a heavyweight, you know, and gets hit very little, so you have to not only take this amount, but the proportion here, you know. Plus Gane, he has a decent defense, you know, even though sometimes he carries his lands low. So in this regard, there's some concern there, but he gets hit quite little, you know, and it's such a massive Muay Thai experience. He's a great kicker too, you know. So that's it, guys. Basically, it's like a lack of activity. This guy is quite passive. Lewis doesn't shoot much. He has quite decent wrestling game, but also easy to take down. You know, Gane shoots more than Lewis, at least by proportions. You know, in the fights that he has never been taken down. You know, and if you see some of the fights Gane has had, like you know, Dante Mays, not the biggest, not the best fighter here, but either way, he took Mays down 3 times, which is athletic guy here, big guy for the division. He could take Lewis down. So again, to me, are so many factors in favor of Gane that this is the lock of the night for me. All right, so this is one of the discussions. So also things that I like to do, I like to take a look on their Instagram to see how motivated they are. We see Gane here with lots of pictures of his athleticism and etc. You know. And the previous fights, it's also good to compare what they did before, you know. So he's still posting things here regarding his fights, you know, which is pretty good. I think this guy is really motivated and whatnot, you know. In the previous fights, he basically posts more or less the same. Maybe he posted a little bit more him on the gym, or at least was, you know, doing more of that. But still, to me, it sounds more or less the same, so which is good. See that he has the same mindset. Now Lewis doesn't even have an Instagram page, so it's tough to tell. This is just some fan page here for him. So again, this guy also not under the best training camp and whatnot. So to me, again, guys, sorry to be repetitive here, but since this is the lock of the night, I decided to give a complete 360 overview. If you want to hear more on that, on the skill set of them, take a look on the video that I made that I break their fighting style down a little bit further. All right. So this is one, guys. What else I'd like to discuss with you guys here? So basically I brought 3 options to you guys here. Let's put the best bets, you know, since I don't have the top 2 parlay, because I don't think this is a great card to parlay, you know. The favorites I like, but I like a little bit some underdogs and some you know, even money fights. So between everything, guys, I decided to take those. Let's see, I'm not gonna break this down. I did this in my other video. So just 3 scenarios here for to analyze with you guys. Let's put scenario number 1, option number 1. I'm gonna bet, I'm taking $100 here just for the exercise. Let's say we're gonna bet $100 in Gane, so you're basically gonna profit 30 if you don't miss. If you miss, you basically lost everything, right? So this scenario 1 is not a bad scenario because, again, everything I said right. Option number 2, I like a little bit some dos Santos as an underdog. I may burn my mouse here, you know, my tongue, but I think this guy is a live dog. To me, he should be the favorite, due to the fighting style, so I'm not gonna comment much more than that. Check out my other video. So let's say this in option number 2, I would risk 55 in Gane, 55 from the 100, 20 bucks on Anderson dos Santos. I'll take Karolina Kowalkiewicz here. Let's see what happens. This is also a tricky one, but I have a good feeling about Kowalkiewicz against Penne. And let's take Fiziev and Green go the distance, you know. So I'm putting these 4 bets here. And in the same, if I'm gonna profit from all of them, which is not impossible, but not that easy to, you know. Actually, I would say from this, I would expect to profit from all of them, so I would profit $72, all right? And let's say that in this scenario, I would miss one of them, and let's say that I'm gonna be missing Fiziev and Green going the distance. Let's say that Fiziev finishes Green, which I don't think it's too likely. But let's say that he loses, we still would make $50 profit, right? And let's say that we also miss Kowalkiewicz, we still would make $27 profits, which is quite similar to the 30 there. So just so you guys compare. So obviously I'm considering that Anderson dos Santos won here, and since the bet here is quite significant, it would cover your profits, you know. So just for you guys to consider as an option, right? And then I put option number 3, and I highlighted this one because probably I would go in this one if I want to manage risk a little bit better. Sorry guys, just some weird stuff around here this time, some alarm. And so let's say that Gane, I would put more money on Gane, I would be heavier on Gane, I would put still 10% on the Santos. I would go a little bit less on Kowalkiewicz because of the risk. This girl has the layoff, and let's say that Fiziev and Green also I want to put a little bit less because, you know, Fiziev could finish Green, etc. This would still give me $50 profit. So let's put this away. If I cash everybody, if I miss one, I would have 23. And here I'm saying that I'm missing dos Santos, which is, you know, the most the bigger money would return, you know. So I said that I missed dos Santos here, and I would still have $23 profit, which is nearly 25% of what I bet, which is not bad. And in here, if I miss 2 of them, you know, I would still have $12 profit. So this is actually a good conservative option in my opinion, you know, because I don't expect Gane to lose, but you know, and I don't expect any of these guys to lose, but let's say that dos Santos lost, you still would get a decent profit here, you know. And but like I said, I expect dos Santos to win as well, so it would give you a nice profit here, you know. So I don't know, just for you guys to consider. Again, this is not a bad option. Get all in on Gane, or consider some of this, you know, or obviously consider any of these things, guys. It's just the way I'm thinking about things, you know. So this is a little bit more a mix between some aggressive betting and more conservative, you know. This is also not a bad idea. I always lean more toward a little bit more aggressive, trying to make more profit, but I'm experienced better. So I'm kind of use it to lose money. I know that people that don't like to lose money. So I myself would go more like towards this option number 2. But if I would have to be more conservative, I would take option number 3. You know. So just as a discussion to you guys, so you can have some thoughts there. All right. So guys, I hope that you like this video. Let me know your feedback on all of this. If this was helpful, was too much repetition, which part, too long, too short in the others. Let me know. And I'm trying to make this as best as I can to you guys, alright? So take care, guys. I hope all of these guys cash. If you wish to follow anything I'm saying here, obviously, this is your call. This is just the way I say in my head. So at the end of the day, it's your call. not mine, but just sharing here my experience, guys. Okay, so that will do for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. This is Sam from Zero Bet, bringing the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.